Algebra 2 course, and we're doing synthetic division, which is just another way of doing long division with polynomials. And a lot of students find it a lot easier to do than what we did previously in the last video. We did long division with polynomials. So let's look at one. Here we have 2y cubed, right? We could use y, we could use any letter really. Minus 5y squared minus y. That's a bad y. What happened to that y? Well, it's a y, trust me. Plus 3, and we'll divide it by y plus 3. Synthetic division, we're going to make this kind of a box here, right? And we'll put in the divisor. We're only going to put in the constants, and we'll put the variables in later. And it's very important that you do the opposite of what you see here. You see a plus 3? So we're going to use a minus 3 for the divisor. And everything over here is going to be just the constants that we have. So here we have a 2, so we're going to use a 2. Here we have a minus 5, so we're going to put a minus 5. Here we have a y that doesn't look like a y. Looks like someone squished it. But you know by a y, or any variable, there's a 1. So we'll make it negative 1. And then we have our 3. So there. We didn't put any variables with synthetic division. You just put in the divisor constant. You do the opposite sign. It was plus 3. We just do minus 3. Now, if this was minus 3, we would do plus 3. Or we wouldn't even put a sign there. All right, so what we're going to do then is we're going to bring down our 2. That's how we start it. We'll put a line here. And we have our 2. Right? We'll bring down the 2 right here. Then we're going to multiply. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. We multiply and bring it up. Multiply, bring it up. That's all you're going to do. And then when you have a negative 5 plus a negative 6, you're going to get a negative 11. So we multiply, we bring it up, and we add them. And then what we're going to do is repeat it. We're going to now multiply negative 3 by negative 11 and bring it up. Negative times a negative is a positive, remember. So that'll be 33. And then you add. See? So basically, we're multiplying, bringing it up, adding, multiplying, bringing it up, adding. Okay, we're going to multiply again. We're going to have negative 3 times 32, which is going to give us a negative 96. Okay? And then we bring it up, we add, and we're going to get a negative 93. And that's our remainder. We have our remainder already. So now we can bring back the variables that we used in the beginning. So let's use a different marker so you can see it. Okay, now let's solve this. Now we have to put the variables back in. And remember, just like in long division, we have a cubed, so we're going to be left with a square. We're going to go descend down. So let's bring this up, and we'll bring the 2 down right here. We're going to have the 2, and we're going to have a y squared. Again, we had a cube, so we'll use a square and go descending like that. Bring down the minus 11, and we're going to have a y. Bring down the plus 32, and it's just empty. And that's it. And then we have our remainder of negative 33. So this is going to be the answer. And then we're going to have minus 93 over y plus 3. That's our answer with synthetic division. Okay, there we go. There's our answer. So let's look at this if we did long division. So just to give you a review on long division, and then we'll do another synthetic. So there it is. There's the problem. And with long division polynomials, we need to get 2y cubed. We have a y. So I'll use 2y squared. Right? And by the way, there's our 2y squared already. It's a little messed up, but there it is. And then we bring it back, and we'll have 2y cubed, multiplying it, right? And also 2 times 3 is going to give us r plus 6y squared. And if we subtract, we know this becomes plus minus minus. That is gone, and now it's negative 11y squared. And again, let's bring that down more so you see it. There we go. So now I need to get negative 11y squared. I'm going to use a minus 11y. And there's our minus 11y. And then that gives us negative 11y squared. And then we'll bring down the negative y. We forgot to bring down the negative y. Negative y. And then we'll have negative 33y. Right? Bring them down. Again, we're subtracting, so this becomes plus, plus, plus. That gets rid of that. This becomes a 32y. Bring down the plus 3. And now we got to get a 32y by just getting a 32. And we're done there. And there's our 32, by the way. Now let's make sure we have our 93 remainder. So this is going to give us 32y. And then this will give us 90 plus 96. And again, remember, we have to subtract. So with change, keep, change everything. And that gives us our negative 93. And we get the same answer like that. So let's do another synthetic problem. Alright, so let's look at this problem. There we have. And it's set up for long division polynomials. But let's do it with synthetic. So with synthetic, we're just going to do the opposite of the minus 2. We'll do plus 2. And it'll just bring down all the coefficients. Now, very important, don't just put that 8 there like I almost did. Remember, if you go descending order, and we did this in the last video, we're missing an x. Since there's nothing there, we've got to put a 0. And then put an 8. Always take your time when you do this. So again, the reason why the 0 is there is because when we go descending order, we have a 4, a 3, a 2, but not a 1. And we need that 1 there. We need that x. Okay, so we're going to bring down the 3. We'll do that first. Make our line as straight as we can. Doesn't matter. And we're going to just bring down the 3. And then we'll multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. Bring it up. There's our 6. And then we add. When you add, you'll get a 4. Right? And then we'll multiply that. And we'll get an 8. And when you add that, you'll get a 13. And we'll multiply that. So you multiply and you bring it up and add. And you get a 26. Add that, you get 26. And then we'll multiply that. We'll get a 52. Right? And you add that and there's your 60. And the 60 will be our remainder. Now let's fill in, bring this up, let's fill in our variables. So again, we started with 4, so we're going to use 3 now. So we're going to say 3x cubed. Right? And then we're going to say plus 4x squared plus 13x plus 26, and 60 is the remainder. So it'll be plus 60 over x minus 2. So that's how we do synthetic division. So we did 2 examples, and we did another one with long division polynomials, and that's video 3.